Why hello there, I'm Ironiq, and in this video I will be spending yet another 100 days in Minecraft Pixelmon. This will all be done on Anubis MC, which provides lots of cool stuff to do, such as gyms, quests, Poke Bingo, Poke Hunt, crates, events, and much more. The server does have many different realms, and I will be playing on Oasis, so if you guys want to come join me, make sure you join Oasis. Last time I did this, I was able to accomplish a lot, but there was one thing I could not complete: defeating a gym. So my main goal this time is to build an amazing team and finally defeat a gym and get as many gym badges that I can. As well as that, I want to catch a shiny and train it to level 100. Now, we have a lot to accomplish, so let's get straight into the 100 days. But wait, first, 89% of you are not subscribed, so what are you waiting for? Go subscribe. Day 1 began by me choosing my starter. I wanted to be a little unique this time, so I chose one of the custom starters, Ironiq. I then looked around spawn for a little while before using RTP to teleport to a random location to begin looking for a place to build my base. While traveling, I ran into a lot of Pokeballs on the ground and collected them, getting many different items. I also collected a few apricorns. Day 2 started with me catching myself a Lotad in the swamp. I continued traveling and found a weird shrine thing, which is pretty cool, but sadly I have no use for it right now. I don't even know what Pokemon this is for, so let me know in the comments below. Day 3, I began collecting oakwood and continued traveling for the rest of the day. Day 4 yet again began by me collecting some more oakwood. So much oakwood that my axe broke. But on the bright side, I did find where I was gonna build my base. I flattened out the area and began building. Last time my base was pretty big and took me a long time to build it, so this time I decided to make a much smaller base and focus more on building a team to defeat a gym instead. By the end of the day, I had a majority of the base built. Day 5, I gathered a bunch of sand for the entire day. Day 6, I mined some coal in order to smelt all the sand into glass, and with that glass, I added a bunch of windows to the base on day 7. Day 5, I began building an apricorn farm on the top of the base. While doing so, a larvitar spawned on it, so I decided to catch it. Because why not? For the next few days, all I did was work on the apricorn farm. And finally, on day 13, it was pretty close to being done. But then something insane happened. A shiny Carkol spawned right in front of me. Not only would this be perfect for my team, but it's also a freaking shiny. So of course I had to catch it, and luckily I did just that. Just look at this beautiful guy. Just so you know, the chance of a shiny spawning in the wild is 1 in every 8,192. So I'd say I got pretty lucky with that one. I then continued working on the farm, and on day 17, it was all done. And it was looking good. Now I just needed to wait for all the apricorns to grow so I could fill them all in. So while I waited for them to grow, I decided to go mining, but on my way to mine, I ran into a chimchar and I decided to catch it. I then mined for the next few days, collecting lots of iron, coal, redstone, and bauxite. Day 20, I arrived home and began smelting all the ores I collected. And with some of that stuff, I was able to make myself 4 mechanical anvils. If you don't know what those are, they are basically just an automatic anvil, so I don't have to sit there and hammer everything myself manually one at a time. I made a bunch of iron bases and threw them in. By day 21, I was able to make my first few ultra balls. Day 22 began with me strip mining, looking for some sweet diamonds. And I quickly found some. 11 of them, to be exact. I arrived home on day 23 and continued making lots of Pokeballs, Great Balls, and Ultra Balls. Day 24, I went mining yet again, this time getting lots of bauxite. By day 26, I gathered a decent amount and began hammering it all into aluminum plates. Day 27, I used those aluminum plates to make myself a Poke Healer and 2 PCs. Now that my base was pretty much done, it was time to start training my team in order to defeat a gym. I started by training Ironiq's special attack EVs. While training, I decided to catch a Zoroark, cause, why not? And by day 31, Ironiq's special attack EVs were full and I began training his speed. And by day 33, his EVs were all full. Day 34, I began training Ironiq to level 100. After a few days of training on day 36, he began evolving into Lampet. And right after he finished evolving, I used a Dusk Stone to evolve him again into Chandelure. And after lots and lots of battles, lol, On day 45, Chandelure was now level 100. Day 46, I went and took on the grass gym to see how close I was to defeating it, and let's just say I got a lot more to do if I'm gonna win, because I got absolutely destroyed. Day 47, I was at warp training when a raid battle spawned, so I took it on. I ended up defeating it and catching it. I got some XP candy from it as well, which I used on Carcoal, which made him evolve into Colossal. I also used some of the candy on Chimchar, which made him evolve into Monferno. So that's pretty cool. Day 48, I went searching for a snowy biome in order to catch a certain Pokemon to help me defeat the grass gym. While looking, I found a weird looking statue. Yeah, kind of creepy. It took a while, but finally on day 50, I found a snow biome. I ran into a Bergmite, which isn't the Pokemon I was looking for, but I decided to catch it. I then began looking for the Pokemon I came here for, and eventually I found it. A Swinub. Yes, a Swinub, but trust me, it's gonna pay off. I ended up catching a few of them just so I could pick the best one out of the bunch. Day 51, I began training Colossal's EVs, starting with his special attack. And after lots of battles on day 53, his special attack EVs were full. It was now time to train the rest of his EVs. And finally, after a lot of battles, Colossal's EVs were now full on day 54. Next, it was time to train the beast himself, Swinub. After many days of training on day 56, Swinub began evolving into Piloswine. And soon after, on day 57, his EVs were full. Day 58, I was at warp training and took on another raid battle. Unfortunately, this time, I wasn't able to catch it, but I did get myself some more XP candies and used them on Larvitar. He then began evolving into Pupitar. Day 59, I went and took on the grass gym yet again to see how close I was, and that's where I found out my Piloswine was banned because of the ability he has, so that kinda sucks. And plus, the gym leader absolutely destroyed me anyways. So on day 60, I grabbed a different Swinub that didn't have the banned ability and began training its EVs yet again. While training, I ran into a person who showed me all the cool Pokemon he had. Show off. I continued training the EVs of Bergmite and Swinub for the next few days. After lots and lots of battles, yes, I said it again, fight me. On day 66, Bergmite evolved into Avalugg. I continued training, and by day 69, Piloswine and Avalugg's EVs were full. It was now time to take on the grass gym. I started with Colossal in order to use Stealth Rock. As I expected, he immediately switched to Appleton. I used Heat Crash, which didn't end up doing too much damage. He then hit me with Earthquake, which only left me with 2 HP. I used Incinerate, which again barely did any damage. His Appleton used Superpower to finish off my Colossal. I put in Piloswine and used Ice Shard. He then switched to his Appleton for Cradley. Thankfully, Ice Shard ended up doing a decent amount of damage. I used it again and did another decent amount of damage. Then his Cradley hit me with Seed Bomb, which did a lot of damage. I used Ice Shard again, getting his Cradley to 10%. For some reason, he then switched back to his Appleton, which I hit with Ice Shard again, not doing very much damage. He finished my Piloswine off with a Superpower. I sent in the Beast Avalugg and he switched to Rillaboom. I hit him with Avalanche, which did about half of his HP. Not bad. He then switched to Venusaur and I used Avalanche again, doing a ton of damage. He then Mega Evolved his Venusaur and used Giga Drain, doing a ton of damage to me. I then used Avalanche again, but unfortunately he finished off my Avalugg with another Giga Drain. I put in Chandelure and used Shadow Ball. I then hit him with another Shadow Ball, which was able to finish off his Venusaur. He put back in his Appleton, which I hit with a Shadow Ball, finishing it off. He then put back in his Rillaboom and I hit it with another Shadow Ball, finishing it off. He put in Whimsicott and I hit it with Shadow Ball, doing lots of damage. He switched again to Tangrowth, and I used Shadow Ball yet again, doing lots of damage. I used another Shadow Ball to finish it off. Back in came his Whimsicott, and with one more Shadow Ball, I defeated the gym leader. To be honest with you, I was in disbelief. I did not expect to defeat him. But what can I say? I built my team perfectly and ended up doing it. Who would have thought? Believe it or not, defeating an NPC gym leader is a lot more difficult than you think. And if you don't believe me, just look at this. I'm the only person to defeat a gym leader. All the other ones are still undefeated. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of myself. Day 70, I ran around taking on other gyms, and as I expected, I got destroyed by all of them. If I was going to defeat another gym, I needed to build a new team. The next gym I was going to try and defeat was the Bug Gym. So thankfully I was able to use Colossal and Monferno. Day 71, I set out on a mission to collect lots of fossils. I used Lantern to help me navigate the water much faster. And by day 73, I had myself a ton of fossils. Day 74, I made a fossil cleaner, but I ran out of aluminum plates to make a fossil machine. So I needed to go mining. But before I went mining, I used some of the diamonds I gathered earlier and made myself some diamond tools and enchanted them. Now that I had a good pickaxe, I went mining for lots of bauxite. For the next few days, all I did was gather bauxite. I arrived home on day 77 with a total of 40. Not too bad. I began smelting and hammering it all into aluminum plates. And by day 79, I had a fossil machine and another fossil cleaner. I then began cleaning all my fossils and got an Aerodactyl, so I put it in the fossil machine to grow up. Lots of fossil cleaning later, on day 80, I had the 2 fossil Pokemon I wanted, Aerodactyl and Archon. Day 81, I began EV training Aerodactyl, and while doing so, Monferno ended up evolving into the beast himself, Infernape. And for the next many days, all I did was train Aerodactyl and Archon. Day 90, I took out my Pupitar and began training him as well. And once again, for the next many days, all I did was train my team. Archon evolved into Archops, Zorua evolved into Zoroark, and Pupitar evolved into Tyranitar. Now that my team was fully EV trained and fully evolved, it was time to take on the Bug Gym on day 95. I started with Colossal and got one shot by his Mega Pinsir. I switched to Aerodactyl and used Rock Slide, which ended up one-shotting the Mega Pinsir. I'm not gonna lie, I was very surprised. He then switched in Crustle, and I yet again used Rock Slide, this time not doing too much damage. I then got one shot with Stone Edge, so I switched to Tyranitar. I took a big hit, but still hit his Crustle with Earthquake. Unfortunately, the Crustle was too strong and took out my Tyranitar. I switched to Infernape and used Close Combat, which ended up defeating his Crustle. He put in Volcarona, and I hit it with another Close Combat, and then got one-shotted by Fury Dance. In comes Archops with Rock Slide, taking out the Volcarona. He put in Ribombee and used Moonblast, causing a lot of damage, and then on top of that, he avoided my attack and then finished off my Archops. Last but not least, in comes Zoroark, and he got one-shotted. Okay, maybe he was last. The Bug Gym defeated me, but it was a very close battle. I needed at least one more Pokemon on my team to defeat the gym. So on day 96, I caught myself a Bagon and began training it. And on day 98, it evolved into Shelgon. Day 99, I went to take on the Bug Gym one last time. The battle was again very close, but I ended up losing once again. I guess Bagon was not the right choice of Pokemon. It was now day 100. I did it. I finally beat a gym in one of these videos, and it was very difficult, but I did it. Next time, I will defeat even more gyms and take over the server. But anyways, let me know how you guys think I did in the comments below, and let me know what Pokemon I should catch in the next one. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button and follow all my socials in the description. And that's it for this one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. This an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall, so I say fuck 'em, I ain't moving small.